Hey, what's up? This is Cam from the Brother Slim, and we are reading through the most recent Kingdoms Forlorn crowdfunding update, number 69, Autumn Variety Galore. Nice. Get some cool art. My assumption is the Principality of Stone. Hey everyone, hope you're doing well. The weather has cooled off significantly here in Gdansk, and we can all feel that autumn is right around the corner. We've even survived the first wave of colds here around the office. That's season indeed. On a serious note, we feel it's important to share that in the south of Poland, the weather has taken a tragic turn in the last weeks. The worst flooding since 1997 has hit the region, causing terrible damage and forcing thousands of people to evacuate. Many lost their homes, and some even their lives. Our thoughts are with everyone affected by this crisis. If anyone hasn't seen any pictures, it looks absolutely horrific. I've worked with a bunch of people that live in Poland and in the south of Poland, and they're all okay, but yeah, it looks like it's been quite the time, and hopefully they're out the other side now, through the worst of it. Nonetheless, we've been hard at work and have some important updates to share about the project. This month, we'd like to expand on two important topics, kingdom books and sub-kingdoms. Very cool. First off, some technical updates. We're in the process of merging the ATO and KF Facebook pages into one, Into the Unknown. From now on, all FB content will appear exclusively there. Our official website has also undergone a few changes. We encourage you to check it out. Cool. Also, important Pledge Manager update. It's in the process of changing from GameFound's old version to the new one. New one's much better. If you encounter any issues or suggestions, reach out to the team at support@itu.com. If anyone's not familiar with ITU support, the waits are very long, but they always do help in the end. Just be very patient. And I've heard that their team is growing on the support side of things too. So hopefully that'll be improved upon in the future here as well. While we're on topic with the PM, just a small reminder that the end of this year is slowly approaching. As always, with the beginning of the new year, the PM prices will rise slightly. And lastly, if you somehow missed it, the ATO expansion shipping info, you can check out the most recent update for details. In short, it's coming soon and going to be awesome. Heck yeah, very excited. This might be the Sun. Yeah, this is going to be the Sunken Kingdom, just looking at the art. Oh, they're all so cool. Kingdom books and adventures. Today we have some detailed info about what you can find inside the kingdom books, or codices as we call them. Each kingdom has its own codex, which includes any and all special rules that apply to the given kingdom, a story introduction, 30 kingdom adventures, special kingdom events for the core game or the core games nights, campfire tales, scouting effects, dungeon rules, kingdom gambling rules, and clash setups. Quite the long list, isn't it? We'd like to elaborate on the largest parts today, which are the kingdom adventures and special kingdom events. Cool. There's also a huge sentence of stuff. My goodness, lots of stuff. Okay, each kingdom will feature 30 unique adventures that knights can experience during their travels. The adventures are directly related to the troubles persisting in the given kingdom and will allow you to immerse yourselves in the setting. Each adventure will usually present the party with a problem to solve or challenge to overcome. You will need to either decide what the best outcome in a given situation is, or make a virtue test, achieving a varying degree of success or failure. Yum. Cool. My assumption is this is blown up from like a little small icon piece. Still looks pretty neat. Special kingdom events. Special kingdom events are story passages that can be triggered throughout various means. When embarking on a delve, knights may be given half of a code by their quest. This is what we call an exploration cipher. During their travels, they may find another half of the code on map tiles or in story passages. Combining these two halves will lead them to a special kingdom event, which might further their current quest, give additional insights to the kingdoms, or give them a useful tool to help them through their delve. Words are hard. No two knights will have the same cipher, so they'll find very different things throughout their travels into the kingdoms. That is really cool. So the secret codes in Aeon Trespass are one of my favorite little things to look for, and like the little lore bits that come from them are really neat too. They go from, without any real spoilers, they go from just small environmental bits to large sweeping real-world lore and in-world lore relations to some really kind of interesting stuff. Yeah, so it's quite cool. And so the fact that they're going to be differentiated by the specific knights is really neat. I love that. The 10,000 Succulent Fears expansion, which is just the longest name ever, TTSF, will also come with its own codex with additional content meant for both the Principality of Stone and the Sunken Kingdom. It will include 30 sub-kingdom adventures, 13 for the Schwarzreich, and 15 for the Ancestor Ruins. Special kingdom events for the TTSF Knights in both kingdoms, just related contracts and story passages, as well as clash setups for TTSF monsters. Very cool. Sub-kingdoms. These are areas of a kingdom that, due to the aggressive progression of the kingdom's curse or some other calamity, have been cut off from the rest of the kingdom. We'll focus on the Principality of Stone sub-kingdom, the Schwarzreich. The Schwarzreich came into being as a result of a terrible earthquake known as the Tremortrial, cool name, that opened chasms in the ground, swallowing whole districts of the Principality. This shadow city is home to what remains of the dozens of factories of the Principality, chief among them being the Kaiserworks, where a large part of the Principality's iron and steel was once forged. Cool, cool. So we have what looks to be work-in-progress arts, either work-in-progress as it's... Given where the game is apparently at, I wouldn't be surprised if this might just be placeholders for us not to get spoiled by the actual final art. Still very cool to see, though. You get a good kind of abstract indication of what's going on, which is neat. Now let's talk mechanics. You might be wondering, how do you enter a sub-kingdom? Well, the kingdom maps will include rare pathways leading down or up into their respective sub-kingdom. There's a catch, though. Once inside a sub-kingdom, you cannot backtrack, and time will continue to move on as it does in the kingdom itself. So, you'll need to think carefully before entering the sub-kingdom. Once you're in, you are committed, and the only way is forward. Also cool. Sub-kingdoms are largely secluded, but that doesn't mean they're safe places to be. They have their own set of dangers to look out for. Each sub-kingdom brings with it an entirely separate set of kingdom adventures that are unavailable to experience anywhere else. Yeah, super neat. I love all this. There are also connections between the sub-kingdoms and the Jura mechanic, but we'll save that for another time. I don't know if we know what the Jura mechanic is. I definitely don't recall. Production news. Last but not least, a small production update. First off, some info about base rings. We recently received and accepted a prototype of numbered base rings for mob miniatures. Small but super cool. I like that a lot too. Actually, not that small, actually. It's really cool. And we've got to say we're quite happy with how they turned out. The rings fit nicely, they're easy to remove, and what's most important, they do not damage the miniatures. As for the color choice, well, we're still deciding. I added some comments that like a dark burnished gold, kind of like the KF logo, would be really cool, and just really pop nicely off of the kind of dark, grim coloration of all of the kingdom boards and such. Yeah, I think that'd be sweet. I'd be curious what other people think too. And there's an example with the blood leech worm thing. I can't remember the name, but cool gribbly worm critter that's supposed to be a little mini worm of a much bigger worm. Now it's time for some more miniatures. We've reviewed the first version of KF minis that were created from molds in our factory, and many of them look amazing, as you can see in the pictures below. We're very pleased with both the quality and the amount of detail retained. You can see an example in the pictures below. So here we have the Panzer Dragon, which has gone, I think, some changes since the original sculpt, at least for sure. If I remember correctly, I think the tail was down before. And the way it's up like this, it looks like a freaking giant flail, and I'm here for it. It looks really neat. And yeah, all the detail looks awesome. Like comparing the minis from original ATO to what's coming up for Kingdoms Forlorn, and I think the ATO expansions, I think they've gotten even better, which is cool. Because there's nothing wrong with the old ATO ones. Maybe a little, what would be the term for it? A little static to some degree, but not all of them. And these just look so detailed and very dynamic. This one in the original campaign, I was like, man, that's not very exciting. It's just kind of a lump of dirt with a face and person in it. But it's cool. Like it's got like the water base, there's all the roots. I think it's large enough to you actually know what it is. It's got that crocodile in the back too. You can just see its little snout poking out too. The white ape troll, which is gribbly horrific and so cool. One of the princesses, I can't remember her name, but very cool. One of the saints. The saint minis are really neat. A lot of the art wasn't finished during the campaign, and some of it's like a little kind of not quite human dimensions, and I think that'll be part of their story. Like one of them's got a really small head, for example, but they're really cool. Simple and really cool, I should say, for the most part. This guy is so trippy. The Puppet King, Idleheart, I think if I remember correctly. Really, really neat. Yeah, it's like surprisingly tall, which is awesome. Also just kind of like the hand in the hand too. This is Ubar, if I remember the name, the knight, who could turn into a great ape, which is really neat. Do you see his ape form? Nope. This is one of the Bog Knight vassals, if I remember. Lots of good detail there. Super cool. And the Toe Dragon, which is just so cool. Looks like they redid the scale. I think originally there was some like little teeny tiny mini people on the base, which gave the idea that the Toe Dragon is absolutely massive, but doesn't really fit with the scale of everything else. So cool to see that they have some to scale people on the bottom. I'm sure that's something King of Average would love to see. And then nice little logo on the bottom of the base. I like that they do that. Enormity. So this was covered in the last ATO update. Finally, this one other thing we're very excited to mention. Yep, so we'll just skip right past this. One little thing they do know, which is cool, is that if you are subscribed to their newsletter, you'll get the designer diaries for Enormity early. So I'll probably cover those via this. Shout out. At the end, we would like to give a quick shout out to a fan of ours, Jasmine, or Yasmin, known as JC Spark, whom we've had the pleasure of meeting in person and who is currently running her own campaign for her project Dire Contact. The campaign ends today at 10 p.m. CET, and they could use a little boost. If you have the means, please send some love her way and show your support. So check this out. This is a book publishing project, which is super cool, and hope to see you funded. That'd be sweet. And yeah, that is it. So cool stuff. Great to see some of the final production minis. They are super cool. And yeah, thanks for tagging along for this update read-through, and we'll see you next time. Bye!